Hello ladies and gentlemen, Green here and welcome to another video. We're yet again gonna take a look at some story fights and excuse in advance because I don't have audio for all the fights because I messed up the recording for some of them, so I excuse in advance for that. And we're going to open up with a Darkseid plus Brainiac fight. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, a comment and a subscribe, very much appreciated. So yeah, usually you don't want to use Brainiac with Darkseid because Brainiac just does so much more for Raven or Black Manta. But I was here in a situation where I had already used my Raven with Influence Sakomen, and Black Manta was used to clean up Nightmare Batman, and Nightmare Batman had enough health to the point where I didn't really need Brainiac to help him out, so I decided to put Brainiac in the Darkseid team because that was kind of the only place I could put him, and Darkseid plus Brainiac would still deal far more damage than the Silver Bench team, which was the team that was left for me to use if I was not to use this team. But yeah, it was definitely justifiable to do this in this situation. So we do have Beta Club on Darkseid, and we do have a level 5 Prometheum, level 4 Prometheum Storm on Red Hood, and a level 5 God Killer on Brainiac. So we're just gonna go for full stacks with Brainiac, then we're gonna tag Darkseid in to deal some dot damage with the Beta Club, and deal some damage with his abilities as well. There we go, 10 stacks. Gonna soon enough tag Darkseid in. We need to be careful because Flash tends to deal far more damage than I have anticipated. We're gonna try and reset the Beta Club with jumps as much as we can because, as you may know, the jump attack is gonna yield usually far better dot values. We did use the Super Move of Red Hood, again, a lot of choice for support characters, but Red Hood was just available, and when you're using the Beta Club, you really want the fights to last longer so you can apply more dots. And yeah, Darkseid is really taking quite some damage in. I was expecting him to be far more tanky, but again, this Darkseid is built fully as a damage dealer, and my gameplay revolving around trying to do as many jump attacks will not be the most optimal in terms of survival, so that's why I will try to cycle Brainiac in a bit, even though he's not doing special ones anymore. Yeah, special 2 in there, re-engage the combo, do another special 2. I was blocking this because I wanted to do a jump attack. And yeah, I followed it with a swipe, so it was kind of counterproductive, and if you pay close attention, you could see there that the dot damage decreased as soon as we transition from a jump to a swipe dot value. Brainiac back in there to tank some damage, hopefully. Darkseid back in there into a special 2. We're trying to be at this point as safe as possible with Darkseid because we don't want him dead. That's something that we don't want. Jump attack in there to reset dot value, and then tagging in Brainiac to make sure that Darkseid is safe yet again. And over here we get blocked. Bad rip, but we are able to barely survive that. Another special 2 in there, into a jump attack after the special 2. Seems like for the most part I kind of have a guaranteed jump attack after the special 2. Though it's yet again not the most optimal thing. I'm trying to optimize the jump attack patterns for all the Beta Club users that I have, since I figured out how much better the jump attack is. And yeah, there we couldn't tag out in time after the jump attack, so fat rip Darkseid. We didn't lose that much damage because for the most part the dot damage will linger close to until the end of the fight. But yeah, I'm sure there's a more optimal gameplay for Darkseid in which we can integrate safely the jump attack, but this doesn't necessarily seem to be it. But overall this fight went well enough. It went well enough. Now, moving on to the next fight, and yeah, 147 million, it's okay, it's okay. Again, Manta would have done far more, but this time he didn't need to. We're going to move on to the Boss Joker fight. So we have a level 3 Sword of Sin on Raven, a level, the Beta Club at level 7 on Influence Sakomen, and a level 5 God Killer on Dr. Fate. And yeah, I used the Sword of Sin here because, as I stated previously when fighting this dude, I think I used this exact team on the previous heroic against this dude, and it performed well, and I was like, oh, we'll use that again. The damage overall will be enough to kill this dude, and the only problem that could come up is him killing my characters, and the problem with this dude is that even if you block his specials, he's gonna deal a huge amount of dot damage on you. And I would still probably survive, but I would lose my darkness stacks because of that on Raven a few times, so we're not gonna do that. Again, trying to get the stacks as soon as possible on King, going for a special 3 there. Raven back in there, barely refreshing the darkness. That was a close one. We'll have a few close calls on darkness reset in this fight, but overall it went well. Another jump attack in there to reset the dot, 30 mil dot already. Another special 2, we're at max stacks, 35 mil dot. I know I did that second special 2, again a little bit of a mistake since we are already at max stacks. And we need to tag in Raven. There we go. Darkness refreshed yet again. Quite risky. Quite risky. You should be a little bit more safe when doing that yourself. Special tree in there. Raven back in. Reset the darkness. Tag King in form block. And we're going to go for a super move here. That was a 10 mil super move. Again, that's not the best we've seen because Raven tends to increase the damage of the Kilnfly Sakumen super move by quite a lot, but it doesn't matter. We're mainly basing this on dot at this point. Another special tree in there. We're not even done with the percentage damage special trees, and this dude is almost dead at this point. And King in for what will most likely be the last Dagon. Special tree in there. Re-engage that combo. And yeah, special one, because I was sure he will die, but yeah, Raven killed him over there with a tag and attack. But yeah, that was it for the Joker fights. Now moving on to the next one, we're going to have the League of Anarchy with EPI, Heartbreak Harley Quinn, and Just League Flash. So Cyborg, as you may know, a little bit of a mistake there by the way, is going to not let you use the special 2. And that's a little bit of a problem for the League of Anarchy team, because they are mainly using the special 2 in order to set up stuns, either from Heartbreak Harley Quinn or from Arkham Knight Batman. But in this scenario here, we're going to actually use the EPI special tree to set up the stuns, because it's the only thing that we have available. It's not going to be that optimal because EPI special tree has a lower duration compared to the Arkham Knight Batman one, and when you tag in and do the normal combo, you're going to have 2 basics off the stun, but it's the best we can do. I do have Sword of Salvation on Heartbreak Harley Quinn. I could have used All Blades, but this is just a little bit more optimal in terms of power generation, because when doing this, you're going to have to constantly use a 7 power cost move on Entangling Poison Ivy. And that's going to be quite costly, and this is a problem I ran into previous times I used this. Another option is to put a Power Gun in there, and I could have, since I'm going to use my Silver Banshee team or Multiverse team with Deathstroke anyway, and I didn't really need the power reduction from Power Girl, but I decided against it, and I was like, let's just put a Just League Flash in there to further enhance the damage on basic attacks of Heartbreak Harley Quinn, and we'll put Sword of Salvation on her to increase her damage. The other option would have been, as you know, Beta Club doesn't work well on her, would have been to put the All Blades with some little attack damage on it, and that would have maybe yielded slightly higher values, but would have led to overall less damage, because we wouldn't have been able to do as many special trades with EPI. Another interesting thing to note is that the EPI special tree actually deals some decent amounts of damage. And that makes sense because we're giving that special tree a full 40 hit combo pretty much every single time that's used. I mean every single time at this point, because we're way over the 40 hit combo. So yeah, that deals all the way to 2 mil, and compared to the Heartbreak Harley Quinn damage, most likely she dealt more in one combo than EPI dealt the entire fight, but still something interesting and something maybe noteworthy. And we have Just League Flash in there, as I said, for the additional basic attack hits, and because it also synergizes well with the passive of the Sword of Salvation, giving us pretty much a guaranteed power steal on the swipe, because it pretty much registers as a chance for every fast attack hit that you do. Harley back in there. Swipe right, tap 3 times, swipe right, and as you can see, the last type and the last swipe are going to be off the stun, and maybe there's a little bit of a more optimal way to do the combo in order to play around this team with the slightly lower stun duration, but since I'm not using All Blades, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Maybe one more tag in overall for Harley, though maybe not even that, because we're finishing the combo quite comfortably, like off the tag in duration. But yeah, that was it for this one. And quite surprising amounts of damage, to be honest. 415k, that's decent. Now for Deathstroke fights, we're going to put him in the Multiverse team. As I said, Deathstroke doesn't have his own team, because he doesn't need to. He's already doing everything he needs to do by himself. But the problem is, he doesn't really deal damage after he's done with the special 2 percentage damages. So we're going to integrate him into another team and let him do his thing, and then use that team to deal some damage. Again, Sword of Salvation on Deathstroke, still no gears on Deathstroke. Maybe I'll buy them at some point, but I'm not in a rush because he works just fine, as you can see, or as you will see. Another special 2 in there. Would have put the Promethean Sword on him to further buff up the Multiverse Armored Supergirl in anticipation for when she will move in the fights to deal some damage herself. But that would have been quite annoying to deal with, considering Flash's specials and the thing that I could maybe get power drained by them, so I'd rather keep him at low power until Deathstroke is done. Another special 2 in there, 30 mil. Another special 2 in there, 30 mil again, though I think slightly less. Another special 2 in there, that's gonna be a 29 mil, and it decreases, that's good because you're not hitting any damage caps. You need to get this out of the way as soon as possible so you can move in and deal damage with the other team. Our special 2, percentage damage again, we're gonna keep going. Another one. Again, percentage damage, we're gonna keep going. I think I could count them because there's a... I messed up over there, shouldn't have done the special one there, my mistake. There is a finite amount that we could do and we could count them, but counting them will only... like make us not do the last one, which is this, because you do it until you don't see the percentage damage, and if you're like counting them, you would not have to do that too, but you'd rather pay attention to the fight doing the rest of them in the most optimal way possible, in my opinion. Special tree in there from Multiverse Armor, Supergirl flashback in there, and we're going to try and do the God Killer combo with him, in which we keep going with the combo pretty much after we finish it. Ideally, with Flash, you want to do the same combo that you do with Dr. Fate to do an infinite combo, but that's not going to be optimal because Multiverse Armor Supergirl is not going to do a great job setting him up onto a tagging from a swipe, because unless you do a tagging from a swipe and you randomly tag him like this, you're not going to have access to your last swipe. The combo is simply going to stop after the 3 taps. So we're going to try and make the best of what we get. Flashback in there. Trying the combo again, successful. Sometimes this one fails. It's not fail-proof and it highly depends on the enemy that you're fighting. Special tree in there yet again, 2.1 mil. That's quite decent actually. Again, the combo works. Multiverse Armor Supergirl back in. Refreshing the burning effect. I'm not sure even if that was worth it at this point. Maybe should have gone for 2 special trees even without the burning active at that point. Supergirl back in there, 2.1 mil. And yeah, I shouldn't have tagged in Flash, should have tried to do more damage with her before tagging her out. But yeah, that's as far as this goes. And 420 mil, that's decent. That's decent. Now for the Batman Ninja team, we're gonna have Beta Club here. And Beta Club on Batman Ninja team has been very, very weird for me. Like, we have fights where we barely went above 200 mil damage with the Beta Club. And then there's this fight that I was expecting would go terribly, because I believed I would have a very hard time combo interrupting this dude. But it turns out it's not that rough with this dude, at the very least with Catwoman. Because as I said in past videos, she has very fast attack opener hits. So she and Black Adam are gonna be the best 2 characters in the game at combo interrupting pretty much. So what might seem impossible for other characters is just gonna be slightly hard for Batman, Catwoman, and Black Adam. 6.3 mil dot value, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, we're gonna deal lots of damage here. Easy money. Again, we're gonna try and reset at high value and keep that until it expires. That's a 4.5. It decreased a bit, but it's fine. It will keep increasing as their lethal attack damage gets back on track. And I just try to not use swipes as much as I could until that was over. This is a 5.7 mil dot value. That's even better. Gonna try and stick to that. We failed the combo interruption there, but we're fine. Again, a 5 mil dot value, and over there we were running a bit on no beta dot, but again 5 mil reset again. That's good. Leaving that expire, but doing some basic hits. Special 2 in there to refresh the dot, because yet again that stacks lethal, and you should keep that active at all times. Yeah, that special tree in there was bad because it was on a low dot value, and we wasted all the time that the animation of the special tree went, because in that time he could have received like 6 milliseconds. 6.6 mil, going well. Come on, chopping again. Come on, chopping again into another special tree, and yeah, that's the highest we've seen so far, 8.4. And bro, when I was fighting Boss Swamp Thing, for example, it never went above 3 mil for some reason, and there's no different artifacts. I haven't worked on my build on her at all since then. I just don't know what's happening. I don't know what's the problem, or what was the problem with Swamp Thing. Maybe for some reason the lethal didn't trigger on the special 2, because that was capped at 1 damage a second because of Swamp Thing's passive. I'm just wrong about that, and you shouldn't do it anymore. if that's the case. But yeah, here it went so much better. And this will be the last fight of the video. Huge thanks for watching. We'll have 3 more peps, so we might maybe be able to get to fighting Deathstroke, though I doubt it. We would need to kill both Cyborg and Justice League Flash without using Raven in order to get to that point. Though I will try my best. I'll stream the peps, so make sure you subscribe and use bell notifications so you get notified when the stream is up. With that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!